why are cons like WonderCon, Comic-Con, and other cons important to a self-publisher like yourself?
Well, for me, this is the number one place where I interact with the most people. This is basically where I build a fan base, and I meet so many people that love comics. I meet so many people that love Poe, that love movies, that love film noir, and bringing all these different folks together that share these same passions, that's the way to connect with them and share our stories.
Oh man, it's great because you get to meet, first of all, you get to talk about your comics with other people, and you get to see how like that makes them feel like they're really into it, or it's a cool idea. So a lot of times people will buy your book and come back and tell you, like give you feedback like in person about what they liked or what they may not have liked about your book. So you get that instant like, you know, feedback from people, and that helps you as a writer, as a creative, whatever. And yeah, just also making connections, networking, all that good stuff, and just you know having big banners like this, people see it, and even if they don't stop, if they see it enough and then they see it somewhere else, it starts to get in their head. So just be seen.
You know what? This is like an open market for people who want to express the things that they do. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Like Comic-Cons are this just vast place where anybody who wants to express whatever it is that is inside them can do it, from cosplayers to artists to novelists to, I mean, you name it, it's here. And so that's one of the reasons I love being in this atmosphere, is you get to see all of that, and it's not hampered by any kind of gatekeepers except for the artists themselves, you know, whether they want to put up the money to get a booth or buy a ticket to come and cosplay, whatever it is, they're the ones that limit them, not say some gatekeeper that will let you in or not let you into, you know, a publishing house or a movie deal or whatever. I mean, like, those are all necessary to level up, but here you get this sort of base level where people who, anything they imagine, anything they want to do, they can do at least a little bit of it here, if not a lot of it. So yeah, Comic-Cons, I think, are a very important part of artist culture right now.
Well, I think it's extremely useful to make a personal connection with people, to connect in physical space. Now, we sell mostly online, almost exclusively online. We don't go through the normal three-tiered distribution channel. We sell through our own website, we sell through Drive-Thru-RPG, and we sell through outlets like eBay, and our t-shirts we sell on Amazon as well. And the problem there is, as a small independent publisher, the problem is getting attention, getting people's attention, because you're already buried under everybody else who's self-publishing through these online outlets. But in a show, people such as yourself will come by and say, oh, well, what's this? And I get a chance to introduce myself and to tell them, well, this is what this is, this is what this is, this is what this is, and I know I have their attention because they've come up and offered it to me.
You get to meet your fans. I've been doing this for about like 5 years, and this is my first one on the West Coast. And you get to meet people face to face and explain to them why your story is amazing. And then as the years go on, as you repeat going to conventions, I've met people who I've only ever seen them at conventions, and they're just like, I love your work, I'm so excited for the next one. I get to be one-on-one with my fans, and I get to say that I have fans because I come to conventions, and it's very refreshing to say that.
It's so important because we get to meet the people and we can talk to them and interact and answer questions.
Oh my gosh, this is the way that we get in front of people and we talk to people and we share why we love what we write. So I love doing conventions. I've been doing conventions for years. I would do a convention every single weekend if I could.
Well, cons are great because you get to meet lots of people, new people, and introduce them to their work. My personal favorite thing is the number of people I've met who have read my work, and it's the first time that I've met them, and it's been really exciting having people come up to me and say, oh my God, I read your book, I loved it, or I've heard about this before, I've always wanted to get it. That's been the most satisfying, is getting a chance to meet people. And I also very much enjoy turning new people onto my work.
Because it's one of the few opportunities we have to speak to readers, and people are not as likely to take a chance on a book they've never heard of if they don't speak to the author. Like, I don't have Neil Gaiman's following, I don't have Stephen King's following. I'm a small, struggling writer, so this is the way that I can connect with readers and get my books and my story out there.
because it puts you directly in front of the people who are consuming your stuff, and you get to interact and hear from them and what they want as well as what you want to give to them.
It's an audience that otherwise you can't really reach, especially if you're an indie author. It's a little hard to get your books out there. You get blocked by a lot of things. You're not mainstream. You don't have a big publisher kind of giving you advances, giving you publicity. And so coming to these types of cons, you can kind of find your audience. I've actually found a lot of readers here at WonderCon specifically who are looking for what I write, and they otherwise wouldn't have found me unless I was standing right here being a nerd with everyone else. So.
Because we get to connect with readers. I think that's the biggest thing. I find that when I'm at events like this, I'm able to understand what those readers are looking for more, so that I make sure that my books are providing that experience that they want, and also making sure that I know how to talk about the books, and I know how to reach people and understand where they're coming from, their perspectives, talk to fans. I see a lot of the same people coming back year after year after year. So being able to be here for them and to give them that experience is it's icing on the cake of this job.
Comic-Cons are important, I think, because when I go to romance cons, which I love, it's all romance authors. But since what I write is not strictly just romance, I write a lot of stuff. I have gothic horror, steampunk, and sci-fi. It really helps to open it up to the audience who loves the kind of things I do, and it's fun because there's little, Easter eggs in my books for different things, whether it be Star Wars or, a nod to something else that I really love. And so finding all these other fandoms that love that kind of stuff, it's a lot of fun finding new readers who see those Easter eggs and know what they actually mean. And I think just interacting with people, because, I am a romance writer, I am a writer, but I also am a huge Star Wars fan, I'm a huge anime fan, and I love all these different things. So being able to meet people who like more than just that, they like all the things that I like, is a lot of fun.
They're important because they put you in touch with readers that you would normally not get to meet in any other environment or any other venue. Besides that, they're fun. They're a lot of fun. But Comic-Cons and WonderCons and things like this they're my people. They're people who love to dream and love to dream in color and love to be unique. And I think that's where a lot of my books are. They're very unique concepts. A lot of people are like, "You're writing a spicy superhero?" I said, "Yeah, I'm writing a spicy superhero." And the people that come to these kinds of cons are like, "Cool, a spicy superhero." So it's fun.
I think it's great to meet people face to face, get to talk about our projects, and get real time feedback, right? In a way that you can't always do online, interacting with people. So it's wonderful to hear what people are excited about, maybe what they're not excited about, and it always defies our expectations. So that's always great feedback to get.
Expectations really is what it gets down to, both in terms of us being able to set people's expectations for what these things are going to be, but also for them to tell us what their expectations are, even if you just hear a title. What do you expect from that title? We have our assumptions on that, but when you're pitching it to everybody who's walking the convention floor, they're going to let you know what they expect from a title like the Swashbuckle Noir Adventure Magazine, and it's up to us to make sure that we deliver that when it finally is released. Comic-Con and WonderCon and all of these local conventions anywhere you live are an opportunity to directly connect with small independent creators. And yes, your big brands may have a presence there, they may not. But when you can connect with the individual artist who maybe at the beginning of a journey that's going to take them far, or is working on a level that is only sustainable at this small scale, it's a much more intimate experience. It's a much more one-to-one direct support. We have a few merchandise products that allow people to say, "We like what you're doing, we want you to continue it," and they can support us in that way. And it's just a lot more personal. It's a lot more intimate, and it's been in my blood my whole life, and no matter what scale things grow to, there's always going to be some version of this for us, because the door swings both ways. It's very satisfying for creator and the audience as well.
To build brand awareness and meet as many customers as possible, or potential customers.
And do you find you meet fans who have followed you in the past?
Yes, for sure, 100%.
Comic-Con and WonderCon and these types of shows, they're important because they give us a space to get our stories out there where we might not necessarily have had the opportunity before, right? Like being an indie publisher, indie writer, whatever, that was really hard. That used to be a really hard thing to do without finding somebody who was willing to take you on, you know, or to publish you, or to bring you on to an existing series or anything like that to get your name out there. So these cons allow us to connect with the people that actually matter, the fans, directly. And we also get to see if our stories actually matter or are good, because the fans will let us know, the people here, they are not shy at expressing their opinions. So they'll let you know if they think your story is good or not.
For me, especially, I write in genres that I think are great for Comic Cons, like steampunk, fantasy. These are my people, and I like to be able to meet up with the people that are interested in what I'm writing.
And do you meet some of your followers coming and meeting you at the con?
Actually, right before this, that's exactly what happened. I had sent a ARC to one of my followers to read for my book For the Love of Hot Cocoa, and she saw it and she was like, "Oh, you're the writer?" And we got to have a nice conversation, and it was great to like actually meet people that read my books.
For me, I've been to several of these live events. This is my first year doing live events. And Comic-Con feels like home, like any kind of Comic-Con, whichever one I do, because it is where my people actually congregate. Whenever somebody walks by, I know I can talk to them about anything. Like if someone's like, you know, The Last Airbender, like I see like an Avatar Aang over there, I can talk to him about that. You know, if I see like a Power Ranger, I can talk to him about that. Versus if I'm at a general flea market, a little bit harder to start conversations with those people, you know, but here you can easily geek out, and my books are, you know, obviously fantasy based, so people can, you know, there's a good segue for that.
Oh, Comic Cons are really important. It's just a great way to get, for one, it gets the reaction, you get an instant reaction from people to see how they're going to react to your work, your writing, anything like that. It's like a quick, very fast way to see how people react to your stuff. Two, you have to get your stuff out there. You have to get out there and you know, advertise and promote. I've been doing this for so long, so I've been showing my artwork for over 20 years. But it's an amazingly big way to get your stuff out there. And then, you know, you just start talking to people and you start feeding off of like ideas and working off of the energy that you get at conventions. You know, a lot of we always sit in our room drawing and writing, but we need that supportive energy to come back for us to continue to do it. And that's why it's important for me to do shows, because I just feed off the energy of all the people nerd like myself, to push myself forward and keep doing shows.
Well, what it is, it allows us an opportunity to show the light of Christ in a way that maybe the mainstream doesn't always see, because they look at Christians and they don't think that, they think of the people who are protesting outside. But what we do is we really try to present Christ in a way in which we connect with them. The pop culture community is a culture in and of itself. It has particular nuances and languages, and so when you're a part of that culture, it makes it a lot easier to connect with people in that. And when you make that connection in talking things like Star Trek or The Walking Dead, then you create a conversation, and when you have conversation, you're literally tearing down walls. So when you do introduce concept of faith to them, they're more apt to receive it because they're in a relationship with you.